What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back to do a birthday reading for Martell Holt and Martell Holt of Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? So, in this birthday reading, you guys, we will be talking about the Scorpio, which is Martell Holt, and the Capricorn, which is Martell Holt. I could not find Ariane's birthday, honey, so I think that was the universe telling me that she is a non-motherfucking factor, okay? All right, but if anybody could find her birthday, honey, you know, because Miss Robinson likes to read folks down. Put it down in the comments, honey, because, you know, I can't, look her up, honey, and see what Miss Girl need to work on, though, okay? But, yeah, that was interesting that I couldn't even find her damn birthday. But anyways, let's get started, guys, with Martell Holt. He was born January 4th, 1982. That makes him a Capricorn. What do I know about Capricorns? Capricorns are ambitious. They are driven. They are hardworking. They are persistent. They are disciplined. They are practical. Some of their negative traits are, they could be very arrogant. This is a cardinal, earth sign. They think they know every damn thing. And I think a lot of us can see that with Martell. Okay. These people can be very emotionally disconnected. They have the tendency to keep their feelings bottled up, and they don't really like it when you express your feelings. It kind of like makes them feel uncomfortable. You know, it's kind of like, oh, you're expressing your emotions, but don't you dare think I am, you know. Capricorns, honey, they love to try to play it tough, honey, okay? Play it cool. They're very domineering, so very bossy, in charge, you know. They're very moody, okay, and very pessimistic. They could be very, like, negative, in different relationships and different situations. You know, they could just always say what's negative that's gonna happen all the time, like keep reminding you of, you know, the bad things that are yet to come. And, you know, it'd be like, shut up, don't nobody want to hear that shit. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of how Capricorns are, honey. Scorpios, I got a good girlfriend that's a Scorpio. So Scorpio would be Melody in this case, who was born November 11th, honey, 1985. That's the same year, honey, Miss Robinson was born, okay? Me and Melody got some things in common. Scorpios are very ambitious. They're very driven and hardworking. So what I notice is this is a water sign, but nevertheless, you know, just very hardworking, very persistent, just like the Capricorn. So this is always water and earth, you guys getting together is always a good idea, whether it be a Taurus with a Cancer, whether a Virgo and a Cancer. Some of my best relationships I realize are with like water and earth signs. Okay, so water and earth, they mix very well together. Scorpios are very brave. They also can be very secretive. I will say that could be like a negative trait. Scorpios are secretive on purpose. And I noticed this a lot with Scorpios. You could like ask them something and they won't directly tell you like how much they pay in rent or, you know, where exactly they move. They'll throw hints and curveballs. I'm like, well, damn shit, let me know what's up. But yeah, they hold off on, you know, giving away too much information. They're very smart, very like kind of sneaky a little bit, like private, you know. Scorpios have a way of having like this my way or the highway approach, very ballsy, like, you know, they just kind of want their way, you know, when it comes to things. And if they don't get it, they are willing to be like very all or none about like a relationship, a job, just if they are not happy, they willing to walk away. It may take them some time, but when they are ready to go, honey, and in the words of Melody, honey, God said go. And honey, she left Mr. Martell Holt. So, yeah, I believe, that's what happened with her. But, yeah, Scorpios will stay around in toxic relationships for longer than what, they need to. But once they get that strength and that courage to go, it's a wrap. Okay, so they can switch up on you. Like there is something very strong about the Scorpio that a lot of people, they may be a bit confused about, but Scorpio is like, honey, I already told you how I was. Okay, so yeah, Scorpios, they don't play very, they can surprise you, with the way that they respond to things. You'll be thinking that they'll respond a certain way, but they could trick you, honey, and, go to a completely different way. Don't get it twisted, honey, with Scorpios. And we all know, Scorpios will get in that ass, honey, if you betray them or disrespect them, okay? And I think we have seen some of that out of our girl Melody, honey. She don't play, all right? Okay, so let's get started, you guys, with Mr. Martell Holt, who was born January 4th, 1982. His birthday is the day of formulators. His strengths are he is conceptual. And basically what that means, guys, is Martell has very abstract and original thoughts and ideas on, how things should be done. Okay. It also says one of his strengths is he's very structured. We can kind of see some of that with how he raises his kids. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Their kids are very well spoken. I paid attention, to the Holt kids, and very respectful. Okay. And some of that does have a lot to do with Martell, because he's very, that's like his good quality, right, that he has about himself. Those are like a part of his good traits, right? Like being very orderly, and being organized, and having things done in such a way. Like I'm pretty sure he reads bedtime stories to his kids at a certain time, and he wants them to eat their vegetables, and I know it sounds kind of funny or whatever, but a lot of that is part of who he is. That's kind of what I'm like getting from the book. It also says he's pragmatic. And it's interesting because pragmatic means that, that person likes results and sometimes consequences. And why would Martell Holt like consequences? Well, look at the situation with Ariane, okay, and how that came to be, honey, okay? Because you definitely, sir, have suffered through some consequences, honey, because you was out here cheating on your wife, honey, with the mistress, honey, and now you got a divorce, and now you got to deal with it. So, to me, and it says that's one of his good traits, but yeah, sometimes though, being, pragmatic, honey, it don't work out the way that, folks think it should, okay? So his birthday is the day of formulators. It says those born on January 4th have a natural talent for solving all sorts of problems, okay? And really quickly, guys, let's, before I read any more, let's get to his weaknesses. It says he is dogmatic. Yep, so basically the book says he's dogmatic, which means he's inclined to lay down principles as incontrovertibly true. So like I kind of told y'all, it's kind of like what he did on the show with Melody. You know, there was a lot of, I wanted you to do this, I wanted you to do that, and this is what you should do, and, you know, I'm the dominant parent, and I'm like this, and I'm like that. This is somebody that is very much so defined by his thoughts and beliefs, right? And he's so defined by it that he feels like it's true. And that is why he had a tendency on Love and Marriage Huntsville to become very argumentative and petty with Melody, right? He would engage with her in that manner because that is, you know, how he is. Very, you know, dogmatic, arrogant, don't care, pompous, rude, just, you know, like my way or the highway. The book also says that one of Martell's weaknesses is that he's closed. And basically, when I look at closed, I'm looking at hell, not open for business, honey. Okay, bankrupt, folded, buried, bolted. I look at that and think of the disillusion of, I won't say that word. I will say the dissolving of like his businesses, like losing money, losing things, you know, and we know that he has lost a lot, okay, in this divorce with Melody. Apparently, you know, people are saying that he is bankrupt. Okay, we'll say allegedly for that. But yeah, we also heard the story of him not paying child support, Melody having to foot the electric bill. So, you know, I don't know. I just see like some financial troubles. And then the last weakness that Martell Holt has is he is intolerant. And intolerant is when you have like an unwillingness to accept views, beliefs, or behavior that differ from one's own. So like I said before, you know, he was very hell-bent on telling Melody what a wife should do for her husband, how the children should be raised, and I want them raised this way. I want you as my wife to behave this way sexually for me because this is what I expect all the time. This is, you know, my bottom line. This is what I want. Anything else that you give that's less than what I expect, it's not good enough, and I'm going to go somewhere else and get that. So that is who, you know, this man is. Melody didn't know that, of course, until like the end, towards the end, she didn't know. But yeah, this is the man, you know, that she is with. So okay, so let's go back to that first line where it says, those born on January 4th have a natural talent for solving all sorts of problems. Most often, this gift is of a technical nature. Those born on this day specialize in examining a situation and summing it up for what is wrong with it in a terse and concise way. By being able to formulate what others find it difficult to conceptualize, they put themselves in great demand. January 4th people often have a practical knack for accomplishing tasks with a minimum of effort. But they also have imaginative ideas which can be far-reaching as well. Their imagination is rarely of highly fanciful variety. However, and generally has a solid basis in everyday reality. January 4th people may thus be of the fortunate few who dream up schemes that actually work. Okay, so that takes me to his business mind, his work ethic. You know, what was he? A former home builder? You know, they would build up all these different homes in Huntsville, him and Melody. So, you know, he's someone that's very ambitious, very driven. More highly evolved January 4th people follow through on their ideas, developing a sequential process from observation to formulation to implementation. Once this approach is mastered by them, it can be applied over and over again in the future. January 4th people are natural collectors of all sorts of things, not only physical objects, but facts and detailed information as well. They like to surround themselves with books, tools, and materials and other useful paraphernalia so that they can have it within hand's reach when needed. Those born on this day are very direct and do not specialize in idle speculation. So that tells me about all of that damn calling that he did. Did anybody remember all that calling he did on that Funky Dineva live? Y'all remember that interview Funky Dineva did with Melody? All that calling. I need to know what's going on. You know, I'm not going to speculate about what's going on, but I need to, call you and be direct and upfront about my feelings. It also takes you back to on the show how he popped up on Melody several times, trying to have a conversation with her, trying to be in her face, be direct with her, right? Because she had moved out of the house and wasn't really fooling with him. So he didn't like any of that. He didn't respect any of that, guys. He likes, to be upfront in your face. Let's discuss, what we go discuss. That way, I can have more clarity. It also says that conversation is something they enjoy in a social sense, but it must have some meaning or purpose if it is to hold their interest for very long. And I'm just kind of looking at his affair with coleslaw, or should I say biscuit, because that was 5 years. So I feel as if he held on to her for as long as he did as like a security blanket. I think deep down inside, he knew that Melody was not going to put up with his shit. She's very strong-willed, independent, doesn't really need him. And I think that in a woman, Martell didn't like that. So it's kind of like, and not so much that Ariana, I should say, is the better woman for him, but that's how he looked at it. Like, that's how he perceived Ariana to be. Like, oh, she needs me. I'm up higher on the total pole than she is. She comes after me. He couldn't really say that with Melody. And like I told you all, and I will keep telling you all over and over again, if a man does not feel like he is on your level, then his primary purpose in his job will be to bring you down and put you in your place. This is also why a lot of men physically beat women. It is their way of letting you know that I'm the man, I'm in charge, what I say goes, and I'm gonna put you in your place. And that's what we saw Martell do with Melody, not, in the physical sense, but in the romantic sense. Like, oh, you're not doing what I want you to do, I'm gonna go over here and cheat with her, and then that'll motivate you to get it together. That'll motivate you to know that, hey, if you're not gonna do it, she's gonna do it, and I'm gonna throw it all in your face. I believe Martell Holt played those two women against each other. I can imagine him right now, just being around the house with Melody, and if she didn't do something the way that he wanted her to do, or if they had a disagreement, he threw Arian, in her face. Like, yeah, you this strong woman, but let me bring this bitch name up so, I could put you in your place, put you in lowest terms, make you feel bad about yourself. Let me put you in competition with this other woman that has my affections going. Okay, so I see all of that with him. Okay, so it also says, generally, January 4th people are highly organized. They can drive others crazy with their insistence on order. So remember, that is something that was a part of his strengths that I read to you guys. Very orderly, very structured. I want everything in its place. And it's very ironic because he's very all over the place in his personal life. Everything, don't even make sense. Do you see what I'm saying? You would think that somebody like him would want some type of clarity about who belongs in his life and who doesn't. But yeah, he messy as hell when it comes to that. But yeah, the book keeps, mentioning how orderly he is, and he's very insistent on things being orderly. And what I also can imagine is, you guys remember the situation with Melody, and he had told her he couldn't watch the kids one weekend, and she took him to her friend's house. And then when he saw those kids, they looked like kids, like they had been playing and probably had food stains on their clothes. He was complaining about that. And a lot of, the reason why he was probably complaining about that is because, he's just very fixated on, the kids looking their best and things looking, a certain way. And if you think about Melody and Martell, they both had that in common. They had this image, we want to be this prestigious couple that people look up to. And we definitely want to give the power couple vibes, like we're man and woman, we build homes. Do you see what I'm saying? We got several different companies together. We saw Melody start her makeup business. No, she has a skincare line or whatever. You saw her like doing all the different things that she was doing. Do you see what I'm saying? And even though Martell, I don't think he was in on the skincare business. I think she wrote him off, honey, when they dissolved their businesses. But anyway, he liked to attach himself to anything that she's doing. So I could picture him, even though that damn song she made was about him, I could picture him like attaching himself to that. Like, yeah, look what I was able to do for you. I got you singing these damn songs, and that's good for you. That's more money for you and the kids, and it's all because of me. That whole like attitude is really what I get from him. The book goes on to say it seems that to understand almost anything, including human emotions, they must apprehend them with a certain formal framework. Due to such an orientation, they may be at odds with those who prefer to take their cue from emotions or intuition. That tells me that's Melody. Melody is a very emotional person, very intuitive. God said go. God told me to leave on this day. So basically, you guys, there was going to be some tug of war in their relationship when it came to both of their ideals on, what it is to be in a relationship, how to conduct yourself while being in a relationship, because they had two different mind states when it came to that. So this is so crazy. It says, this is particularly true in regard to love relationships. What did I Look, that girl is good, honey. And I know y'all like, bitch, we know you already read that, but I didn't read that. I didn't read that line. And I had already thought of Melody. So that's good. All right. So it says, similarly, though January 4th people can make excellent parents and providers. See, I told you all about that. Okay. They also can arouse resentment from their children because of their dominance and control. So that lets me know in the future, those children of him and Melody's, and maybe even Arian's, they may resent him because, as a parent, he's very controlling of the image of them. And, like he has instilled, very positive traits, inside those kids. I think that they are wonderful kids. I've observed all of them. But also at the same time, you don't want your kids to turn into these little imposters, right? That are just doing everything that you tell them to do without them having any opinion or feeling or emotion about it. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of parents, you guys, they don't parent in the right way. They don't parent in a spiritual way. They parent, their parenting is all about image, the outside, superficial things. How everything looks. You know, the kids gotta look a certain way. They need to talk and act a certain way. You know, some parents take it overboard and, you know, they don't treat their children like children. You know, they want them to behave and act like these ready-made adults, you know. So that is kind of, you know, the energy that I get from Martell. The book goes on to say they must remember that there is no single correct way to live, and that if they let up a bit on their children and mates, they will allow everyone concerned to be freer and more themselves. What did I just tell you? Okay, so it also says, because of their own highly characteristic mode of operating, January 4th people are unusually recognized as individuals who have their own distinct style, not only in their thought, but also in their dress and manner. They are very much their own person. I get that, you know, through Martell. He seems to be like a very confident man. You know, he's in the gym. You know, he likes to have his own persona, right? For this reason, it may be difficult for them to take orders for very long. And although they can be very good at working with a team or as a valued member of an organization, most born on this day ultimately will want to form their own business or company. That takes me to the show. And wasn't he like in charge of a certain company? I forgot. I forgot that business. Y'all put it down in the comments. That business that he was working with Kimmy and Maurice and the Comeback Group or something. Like, didn't him and Melody try to take that over? And they were very staunch and steadfast, you know, when it came to that. So yeah, he likes working in teams, but Martell, his ultimate goal is to be the top dog. That is Capricorn all day, every day. Bow down to the king because, bitch, I am the king. I'm the king, honey. Okay. So, you know, that is what I get from him. He sees himself, and I believe I heard in like different interviews, like he kind of sees himself as being better than the other men on the show. Like, oh, I have all this experience in home building and I'm the one that started this. I'm the one that did that. They had to, didn't he put out there that one of the brothers, and I believe it was Marceau and Tisha, like they had to borrow money from him and Melody. Look at what I did for you. I think he was like arguing back and forth with the Scots. I'm the one that did this. I'm the one that did that. We also saw Martell give that same energy to his ex-wife Melody. I'm the one that started the businesses that put you in charge. I'm the one that's the dominant parent, you know. So all of that, honey, is all it's all in this book, I swear. Okay, so let's get to the tarot. The tarot is the fourth card of the major arcana, is the Emperor, the one who rules over worldly things through wisdom, the primary source of its power. The Emperor is stable and wise, and the force of his authority cannot be questioned. What did I tell y'all about him being the king, him being the top dog? He is not to be questioned, okay? And to me, in his mind, if he is questioned, he's going to become very argumentative, very like wild and explosive. You know, like remember how he was arguing with Miss Wanda, going off on her, and yes, she was in the wrong. I guess she was saying something about his kids or whatever, comparing them to Marceau and Tisha's kids. But you saw how Martell acted. You know, he didn't like that at all, and, you know, was ready to, you know, he went off on her. It also says the positive associations of this card are strong willpower, and steadfast energy. Okay. The negative indications include stubbornness. Okay. And remember that scene with him and Miss Wanda. They had to like tell him to get away from her. So he's very like stubborn, won't let stuff go. If you see him arguing with Melody, he's not going to be the one that walks away. She eventually has to walk away and end it, you know. This is somebody that if they argue with somebody, they're not letting it go. We also seen him do the phone calls. Remember, Coleslaw even said he would blow up her phone. He blows up Melody's phone. Hell, Dineva's phone, blew his phone up. You know, this is somebody that is focused on being right, you know. It also says one of his negative traits is he represents tyranny and even brutality. Okay, so off with his head. Okay, like he's very aggressive and can even get violent, you know, if provoked. Remember, you know, when he was trying to fight Melody's brother, he got real nasty with that guy. So, you know, you could kind of see a lot of that out of Martell. Let's get to the advice. It says, not everything in life can be designed or formulated. Respect others, even if they are on the wrong track. Be open to new ways of doing things. Improve your own methods and don't be afraid to improvise when necessary. Okay? It also says, in a word, loosen up. And basically what I get, you guys, from the advice is, it's interesting that it says not everything in life can be designated or formulated. So this is all about him trying to create this perfect image. Our beautiful kids, you know, it's how everything looks on the outside. Everything can be all messed up and chaotic and, you know, all over the place. But, you know, in Martell's eyes, I built that. You know, I take credit for that. I take pride in that. You know, to me, I think he loves his children, but I also feel like they are somewhat of an extension of himself. Like they are something that he can take credit for, right? Like, oh, I raised them and I'm the one that did this and I'm the one that did that. So he needs to learn to let people be who they authentically are and stop trying to control and make everybody his damn puppet. Okay, let's get to Melody. Okay, so Melody's birthday is November 11th, 1985. Like I said before, that makes her a Scorpio. Her birthday represents the day of the underground. Her strengths are she is persuasive. And being persuasive basically means being good at getting people to believe in something. We see that with Melody's different businesses. She sells different online courses on property preservation. She's singing. I believe she's wrote a couple of books. You know, she's a mom. This woman is very talented, very ambitious, very driven. She also is a TV personality and a motivational speaker. So, you know, it also says that Martell Holt is very colorful. That means that she is full of interest. She's lively. She's exciting. Another one of her strengths is she is energetic, and that speaks for itself. I just told you all that Melody does a lot in her professional career. Okay, this woman has a lot of streams of income. And this makes her a powerful force to be reckoned with, right? Okay, so let's get to Melody's weaknesses. It says that Melody is possessive. Basically, if we are to break down the word possessive, it means demanding someone's total attention and love. Okay? For some reason, I'm getting an energy of Martell felt on a deep level that Melody was very possessive of him, and she wanted him all to herself. Okay, like I'm kind of getting like that is one of Melody's toxic traits. in their relationship. But of course, like I told y'all before, it's her husband. So, he's hers. Like she kind of has the right to be possessive. But what I am getting from that is maybe like possessive of him, like working with certain people and being controlling and, oh, I don't want you to do this. Oh, I don't want you to do that. And to me, in my opinion, from the energy that I'm getting, from the book and, what I've seen, it's kind of like Martell felt like he was backed against the wall. Like, oh, I got to get up out of here. She ain't gonna be telling me what to do, who to work with, who to do this with. So he didn't like that, guys. It also says that Melody is troubled. And to me, that speaks of she's troubled because it's kind of like she always finds herself in a situation where she is upset or in distress. Look at this whole situation with Ariane. Okay, she had known, for years that Martell had been having an affair. She chose to forgive him, but she also, guys, chose to, continuously take him back. Yes, she would leave the home, but she would always return back. Have sex with him, she got pregnant, and, the rest is, history. So like when you are someone that is troubled, you, have certain patterns of behavior. You will participate, and allow, people to disrespect you and put you in certain positions. So yes, Martell is wrong, guys, for what he did to Melody, but with Melody's troubled energy, there are some things she allowed, okay? Like she said in that song, I gave you 5 years to, get rid of, the side chick, and that was too long. Okay, it was way too long, but Melody played a part. I'm not at all saying she deserved to get cheated on. Don't read, what I'm saying like that, but like she participated, in this through her negative energy of being troubled, always kind of finding herself in troubled situations. Okay, being depressed and, being down. Another weakness she has is she is spellbound, and it means she could be charmed, she could be hooked, she could be enthralled with somebody, she could be captivated by somebody, kind of seeing somebody for who they are, but unwilling to let them go because of how they make her feel, right? So that's Martell Holt in a nutshell. She was captivated by him. She was impressed by him, guys, okay? She really loved him, and she was willing to turn a blind eye to the cheating and a lot of the disrespectful things, that he was doing in the marriage. Okay, it wasn't just the Ariane situation. Martell Holt has did other dirty things, maybe some bad business deals or something, but Melody chose to overlook a lot of that. And it wasn't just about Martell. Yes, it happened to be Martell, but something is telling me this is an energy that, and it's a weakness. That's what it's saying in the book. This is a weakness of hers, being overly captivated by someone and ignoring the signs and the symptoms and the red flags, right? Okay, so let's get to her reading. It says the complex individuals born on November 11th often present a bright, even cheerful appearance, which belies their depth as well as their turbulent trouble. There's that word. And secretive. What did I tell y'all about Scorpios? Scorpios are secretive on purpose. And there's something about, I don't know, for some reason, something about her cheating is kind of coming up. But like we discussed before, if the girl did cheat, hell, she had fucking every right to. Okay, look at, what and who, she was dealing with. But I'm kind of getting somebody that would keep secrets from Martell, okay, on purpose. Just simply her being a Scorpio. And then seeing how he acts, it's like, oh, I really got to keep this from him because he, I think she felt, you guys, he was controlling and crazy as well. It also says powerful in controlling their environment. There's that word, controlling. What did I just tell y'all, okay? Powerful in controlling their environment. Those born on this day state they're possessive. There is that word, possessive. Okay? Claim on whatever people, material, objects, or activities that are important to them. So yeah, she's very family oriented with those kids, and she has them, in all different types of activities. This is who Melody is. Okay, so it also says their contact with their dark side paradoxically fuels their humor and gives them what it takes to generate a sense of fun, as it is true with most good comics. Those born on this day are natural family people. What did I tell y'all about them children? Her having as many children as she has, it was done on purpose. She loves children. She sees them as new life, as a breath of fresh air. Protectors of the roost and providers who like nothing better than to position themselves right at the center of a family, occasion or an outing. So all of that, getting married to Martell, having all these kids, that was planned. Usually they have a talent for organization that lends structure to any professional organization or social group in which they find themselves. So that tells me she's very structured as well. That's why her and Martell worked for each other for as long as they did. November 11th, people are physically magnetic and know full well how to make use of their attractive powers. However, the flip side of their magnetic nature is seen in their falling under the spell of other magical figures. What did I tell y'all about her being enthralled and being captivated by certain people, being spellbound? She needs to watch out for that in the future with her next man. Don't be ignoring all these red flags because you want to be in love and you want to have somebody. Both men and women born on this day generally have a well-developed masculine feminine balance in their personalities. Isn't that interesting? Didn't I tell y'all about in my one video how a lot of people will see Melody as being more of the masculine woman? So she has a double, like most of us. She's masculine and she's feminine though. The book also mentions that November 11th women can be very overly controlling and can allow themselves to be overly controlled. So she was controlled a bit in her marriage to Martell until, she got sick of that. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. Join me for the part 2 of Melody Holt. Don't forget, you guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the part 2 of this video.